Hello, welcome back to the Bess Talks and Happy New Year. We've made it to 2026 and today is January 16th. We're already 2 weeks into the new year. How's everyone doing so far? What do we all have going on? Did we accomplish what we wanted to get done last year before the year was over? How was everyone's holiday season? So many things that we've processed and gone through already just since the last time I posted my first episode. I literally had technical difficulties with just posting the first episode, and since then, I'm hoping I'm able to post this episode. So if you see it, that means I got it figured out, and I've been able to bless you guys with another episode. So on today's episode, I'm talking about change due to the new year, of course, us welcoming it in with open arms and ready to grasp whatever it has to throw at us. Last year was a very eventful year for me. So many things changed in my life last year that I would have never expected to have even changed or saw coming or even imagined me doing. Didn't even know I was going to do some of the things I did. Didn't know I was going to end up working as many of the jobs as I worked. I didn't know I was going to spend so much money. So many different things. But I'm so happy with where I am now and extremely grateful to be able to sit here again today and make another episode. I put in my 2 weeks to my job. I had to budget whether or not I was going to be able to afford my classes, to pay it myself, and whether or not I truly felt that leaving one job was going to benefit me. It was going to be the best decision for me at that time. And I think it was, because I sprained my knee again. I think that was the universe's way of trying to tell me I am working a little bit too hard, at least for my physical sake, for sure. I did leave the job. Now I'm only working at one place in the mall, and I'm managing with that check. I had to create a whole nother budget because Lord have mercy. But I'm managing with what I'm getting. We can only control so much. I did not do anything during my winter semester break that I paid for. We're not going to talk about that. This semester is going to be great. It's not how last year was. What's so crazy to me about last year was every aspect improved except necessarily my education last year, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why I wasn't able to do any homework. It's okay, but past that, I promise you I'm doing homework this year for sure. But it's officially been a year since me and my mom have bought a house and that I moved out of Huntsville, Texas. And it's officially been over a year since I haven't had any close friends. Also been a year since I've been letting my hair grow back out. I used to be bald, if you didn't know. I've made a lot of changes, and when I first decided that I wanted to change, of course it started off as a thought in my head, and I didn't know if I was actually going to do those things. But I actually found a journal entry of the exact day. Oh, I love me so much. I decided that I wanted to change. And this was after I had been fired from Taco Bell. I didn't have a job for a few months. I was spending a lot of time outside and with nature. And I ended up sober again. But I found a journal entry. What's crazy is I don't even think I noticed that it was this long. Okay, I found it. I found the exact journal entry to when I decided that I really wanted to change. I didn't even know there was a back to this. I didn't read that one. So this is Bessie Wright, August 8th, 2024. Hey girl, we're still here. We've been an adult for a year. Child, yes, I know it's easier. I know I have it easier than most. I was still stressed out. I decided to restart my healing journey because somewhere along the way, I took the wrong turn. I was more hate than love, sadly. I finished registering for Lone Star. I'm proud of you for always trying no matter what. A week ago, I heard the saying, discipline beats motivation. I love that. I'll be living by that to an extent. I'm going to be a full-time student. A goal I have is to get all A's and B's my first semester. I do crave love. I can't help it. I'm just human. We know we love ourselves, but I want that extra love when you constantly lift each other. I don't chase, I attract. What's meant for me will find me. I want to be healthy too. My body is my temple and I don't treat her the way I should. So many new habits I will start. And I thought that was the end, but now just looking, it continues. So today is the 888 portal, and I've been holding off my spiritual journey, especially journaling. It's so satisfying and relieving. I will study all weekend and pass the math TSI on Monday after work. Oh yeah, we work at Ulta Beauty. Can you believe that? I've been working on making a positive journey / mindset. I've been reading lots of books. When I read, I resonate with what I read. I'm altering my mindset. My whole mindset. I'm choosing the type of human I want to be, living in the moment and trusting the universe. Before the new year comes, I will have established a new, better version of myself from mental, physical, anything. Remember to trust yourself, believe, and you can do it. Stop being so hard on yourself. I love you. And I did get all easy B's that semester, my first semester of college, and me and my mom ended up buying a house. In the beginning of the 2025, I was here and I was a completely different person, and I was vibrating at an extremely high frequency. It was a roller coaster though, because it was not a steady high frequency. Due to so much of the change, it made a big difference. And I removed a lot of things from my life in order for me to change. So all the things I removed, they hurt my soul, my soul, my heart. I was in pain, I was hurting, but I understood overall that all the changes that I made were going to better me at the end. I ended up not talking to my old best friends anymore, all the people I was hanging out with every day, because I could feel that I wanted to change, and it was necessary for me to change. And in order for me to change, I had to remove myself from these people. And what's crazy of this entry was before I even did any of that. After this same very entry I just read to you, school started probably in about a week. I did continue to work at Ulta. I cut off everybody in between that from August to January. From August to November of 2024, I cut off everyone. I think I deleted social media in the end of October of 2024. I cut off everyone. I went sober from alcohol and smoking. I was just doing my homework. I had 6 classes. I was still working at Ulta. It was stressing me out. I was barely getting any hours. I didn't want to live in Ridgewood anymore. I just had so many things that have happened to me, like traumatic things, that I felt like it was holding me back, and I craved the new environment. I talked to my mom about it. We started looking for places. Apartments were expensive, so we just decided to look at houses. Then we got the house. In the mix of us getting the house, I had already cut off everyone already. I got another car. The very next day that I cut off the last person that I didn't want to cut off, I got another car. I was like, okay. I really did not want to cut off all of my friends at all, actually. The universe gave me one final sign when I decided to go out to my best friend's section, and I was gonna surprise her, because I didn't necessarily want to go at first, and I went anyways. But on the way there, I had just arrived looking for a place to park, and I got into a car accident. And I felt that was the last sign the universe needed to give me for me to be like, okay, that's fine. I'll cut them off and I'll be sad and we'll figure out something. And that's exactly what I did. Because I was terrified that night, and it was just so much, and so many things were starting to become an eye-opener since I was sober and I was reading, and I was just changing who I was. I was altering my entire mindset and choosing the type of human that I wanted to be, and who was Bessie Miranda K. Jill Walker did right, besides what everyone had already told me I was. So I had a lot of time in solidarity last year, a lot. lots of job, lots and lots of new experiences, and lots of changes. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. And I made so many changes in that time frame from that August to the beginning of 2025 that something was bound to change. When I look at where I am today, even just living in this house, I wasn't even necessarily trying to change all of these things, but because I was making all of those changes, my exterior reality started to match that. I was internally changing everything as well. I literally cut off everyone except my mother. My mother is the only person for real that I didn't cut off that still stresses me out a little bit. Literally just her, because I love her, but I have to have grace and patience with her, and I have to have grace and patience with myself, because we're both just humans evolving and living life a day at a time. So one of my main goals this year, I made a different journal entry on the 1st. I want to read that one to you as well. January 1st, 2026. The last 365 days was very different. I changed so much. It's crazy because I didn't think I would. I'm so proud of you, Bessie Wright. We've been doing a lot of reflecting. I've noted and noticed where we've improved, and I see where we need more improvement. I will have more grace and discipline. My number one goal is my podcast, The Bess Talks. I want to really pour my love and energy into it. I also want/need to fall back in love with school, fix my relationship with learning, allow myself to feel safe when I'm doing these things. I am imperfect, just like my life. This is my first time in life too, at least this one. My first podcast, my first time being in college, my first time being 20, which is almost over. WTF. Oh my God. Hell, my first time in 2026. My health, wealth, and intelligence are my main focus for these next 365 days. I may not know how, when, where, or who, but I know and believe and see and that I can and I will. Love you, Bess. I love you too, girl. And these are my focuses. So how am I going to focus on my podcast and fall back in love with school and not stress myself to where my nervous system does not allow me to do it? Because when I feel like, and when I think about school and I think about my podcast, I start to get anxiety. And I start to get a little overwhelmed and anxious and stressed out and sad if I don't do it. When your nervous system notices what makes it feel those type of ways, you're not going to want to do those things. You're not going to want to do that because it's making you anxious. It's producing all the chemicals that we don't want to feel anxiety all the time. We don't want to feel anxious. So I like to do things that calm me down into doing these things and help me relax and not rush and have grace and patience with myself. I said I wanted to post at least one episode a month this year. You have to set many goals, many deadlines for you to accomplish these things. I need to have a better work-life school balance as well. So I want to work at least a minimum of 3 days and leave the rest of those days for me to be able to accomplish my homework and do my podcast as well. I underestimated as many things as it was really going to take for me to have a podcast, I think. I'm working on it. I'm taking it one episode at a time, day by day. There's only so much I can do. It is what it is. And I'm having grace and patience with myself. And I'm going to go and celebrate my mini deadlines when I do little things. It counts. Celebrate your mini accomplishments. They all count. It might not mean something to one person. It can mean something to you. That's all that should matter, is what it means to you, because you know what you want to get done this year or what you want to do in general with your life and have planned. And only you can really help you do those things. Write down little goals and steps. Get into detail about how you really want to do those things. Even if it sounds unrealistic, write it down anyways, okay? Some of the things in my journal, I've had 5 different career choices since I was a teenager, okay? Just write it down. Write it down anyways. It doesn't matter. You'll get it done. If it's meant to be, it will be. Because you'll have it in the back of your head for so long. Right now, I still have the draft of when I really first decided I wanted to create a podcast, and I went and did everything. I have the draft of it right there on my wall that I'm looking right at, and it's looking right back at me with the Bess Talks right on top. The first page I ever used to write it. And as I sit here and think about how much I really have changed as a person, it came with dark nights. I always like to tell people, I know you see sunshine and rainbow Bessie, but she has thunderstorms. I'm very much yin and yang. I have thunderstorms before my rainbow and sunshine comes back out every now and then. The weather is constantly changing. Everything is always changing around us. Even if you don't even notice things changing, things can be changing on the inside with your physical body. The outside nature is always changing as well. Things are always changing. Even if we don't choose to change, it's gonna change anyways. Make your goals of what you want to do and accomplish them, and don't think that you cannot do it. You can. One thing that I definitely need to do, due to the fact that I also sprung my knee, is rest. I think that's another thing I definitely need to do more of, and not just being lazy, like actually resting at least one of my days out of the week. Going out to sit by a pond or a lake, or just going to a park again, or doing something fun, taking myself out to do an activity. I also want to start a new hobby this year, so I do have something else to go do that is associated with like fun and something cool and that would build a skill or something like that is what I want to do. Like pottery, like that's relaxing too. You don't have to rest. You can relax as well. We deserve relax. There's a reason why we have to go to sleep every night, okay? We need to relax. We need to rest, to restart. The last year, from moving here to going to school to working all those jobs. Okay, let's see. At Ulta, we was at Ulta for a little bit. Ulta wasn't enough once we moved to the house, since I had to become an adult and pay bills. So I started doing Uber Eats, and I ended up working at my brother's restaurant. Then I was doing both of those. Then there was no more Ulta. Then there was just my brother's restaurant and Uber Eats. My brother's restaurant was not doing it, so I quit. So I was just doing Uber Eats for like a month or two. Then I got the jobs at the mall. So then I was doing 2 jobs as well as doing Uber Eats on the weekends, and on the side, I was hustling, okay? I was hustling last year. I really was. You can't tell me nothing. I was hustling really hard for what I wanted, and I got it. From going to Atlanta for my birthday, I really enjoyed that. Going back to LA, like I enjoyed my 20th year. It's still not over. I have 4 more months to enjoy being 20, but I enjoyed my 20th year, and all of the changes that I made that hurt, some of the things that I had to go through, because I had this motto in my head that I did not want to go into my 20s the way I was feeling as a teenager. I wanted to, the change was necessary. I wanted it to be different. I wanted a whole different vibe, a whole different energy. I wanted to be a whole different person. And that is exactly what I did. On Amazon, this book came up about cognitive behavior, and I ordered it. I was like, ooh. And what's crazy, I wish I can show y'all. The reason that I literally ordered the book is because I have one painting that I've painted myself. That was when I was going through my mental health crisis a few years ago, back when I was a teenager. But the cover of the book, it's like very similar to that painting that I did myself, and I think that was like literally the reason that I wanted the book, and also just the name drew my attention in. So I brought the book. When I got the book, I read that book like 3 times. I was so fascinated by the things I was reading in the book and by the things that were said in the book that I do. It's me pain. That's right. I'm really not that special. I'm more than a trillion. Like, there's no one else out there just like you, but we're all so similar in so many ways. It's crazy. And that book, like, I don't know if it kickstarted my frontal lobe development or something, but I was like, Whoa, you're so right. It triggered something. And like after that book, the next 2 weeks, I started seeing everything differently. Like, I don't know, it just woke me up. I ended up not drinking anymore. Ooh, and I used to drink a lot. I was drowning in my sorrows. Those several months after I got fired from Taco Bell, right before that first August entry, I was drowning my sorrows. Every day I was intoxicated. Every day I was cross-faded. I was going through it. Then when I finally stopped smoking marijuana, I cried for the next 30 days. I think I cried for like a month and a half every single day. And I was just like, oh my God, will I ever be okay? Is this it? Is this how I'm going out? But I made it past that, and I conversated with my loved ones and the people I cared about the most that I felt like I needed to let go. And like I told y'all, I really did not want to let these people go. I really held on to them for as long as I could. But at the end of the day, I was changing and we weren't changing in the same path. And you can't expect people to change with you or for you, and that is okay. And it hurt me so bad. I really was so sad because I didn't want to have to cut off these people, because now I have to go and make bonds with new people, and it's not going to be the same. But I was changing and I was making and doing all of these things, and I was trying to keep them around, and it was like they were steady just pushing me away. So I just removed myself completely because I was already going through it in pain of finding myself and attempting to heal the correct way and not with hate before my 20th birthday. Because all the things that I was hearing and being told about myself, I was not liking these things. And I was like, I don't want to be that type of person. That is not the type of human that I want to be. I've been graduated for almost a year now. And then after that book, it literally, I'm telling you, I stated that I wanted to be a good human. Like, I genuinely desire to be a great, decent human being. Because at the end of the day, we're only human. I can only do so much. There are days you will catch me judging and talking mess about somebody. I'm only human. But majority of the time, I am love and light as much as I can be. Sometimes I'm very dark. Like I said, I'm very much yin and yang. But I do, in general, want to be a good person. I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be kind. I want to be caring. I want to have empathy for people and compassion. And I think that I'm extremely open to vulnerability. And I am okay with that. I'm okay with that. I want to live a life with just love. I want to live a life with just love. And so far, I have been attempting to do that. And I think I'm doing a good job. And I'm very proud of myself for all the changes that I have made. I have made so many changes that you cannot see because they're not physical. They're not physical changes at all. Even after I cut off everyone, when me and my mom were moving, I was so burnt out and overwhelmed. I literally had to get put back on antidepressants in the beginning of 2025 because I was going through it. I was like, okay, the self-medicating wasn't working anymore. I was about to spaz out. I was like, please give me the pharmaceutical medicine. I'll take it this time. I'll take it for like maybe a week or two. I don't like pharmaceutical medicine. It's just not for your girl. It's not for me. I got back off of it and I started to go back and sit outside again and I love sitting outside. I love sitting outside. Honestly, if my mom would have gave birth to me in Nigeria, I think I would have survived because I love sitting outside. That is what helped me regulate myself, because when you want to change, your brain and your nervous system do not want you to change. They work against you because you're doing things that it's never done before and it doesn't know the outcome. And it doesn't like that. That's scary and it gives you anxiety. Just like I was talking about earlier of the relationships I have when it comes to needing to do my podcast or doing homework. It's very similar. So when it came to me having to change, the things I think helped me with my nervous system, I literally used to go outside of Ridgewood with my little Hello Kitty blanket, right in the sun, with some books and a speaker, and my cup of water, and I would sit outside for like 2 to 3 hours every day. Every day. I was getting vitamin D. Vitamin D supremacy. Where are my people? Like, I would never not preach about that. I literally went and sat outside today. My mom literally came outside. Mind you, my mom, born and raised in Nigeria, came up to me and asked me, is it not too hot for you? Me? No, baby, I do this every day, girl. I'm good. She said, okay, let me go. I'm going. Bye, girl. Leave me here. I am happy exactly where I need to be. Sitting outside and touching the grass grounds me. Also, listening to music and dancing, it's like in my blood. Like, it just makes me feel so much better. Music definitely and dancing helps as well. My journaling and when I record in my voice memos definitely help me out. And like, it's not easy, you know, like you might have a New Year's resolution that you want to get done right now. Let's say it's yoga. Let's say it's working out. You're not going to want to get up every day and do that. Discipline beats motivation, period. You're going to have to get up and do it anyways. Being an adult is weird. Okay, I do not get up and want to go to work, but I know I need to go to work, so I go to work anyways. I do not get up and want to clean my entire house, but I know I need to clean my house, so I get up and clean my house anyways. Okay? I know that I didn't want to change, but I knew I needed to change, so I got up and was going outside and doing these things and going on walks and all those things that I needed to do to change. That crying every night helped me change. There was things that I would have never even... I used to go to the top and watch the sunset and watch the sunrise, you know? In that time of me being unemployed, I was finding myself, but like I literally lost myself in order to freaking find myself, for real. I could start crying right now just thinking about it, because I had to make drastic changes that I was scared to do. Like, I'm telling you, my nervous system was against me, but I did it anyways because I knew it was for the greater good for myself. And I was deciding to finally put myself first, because I did used to be a people pleaser. So I started doing little things that I would never expect me to do, honestly. I was intentionally being spontaneous, and those things made a difference. And they made me extremely happy, and I was vibrating high. Even though I'd have low days, overall I was vibrating at a very high frequency. And it was amazing. I remember when I literally got out of that depression, because I was feeling worthless, like a waste of space. I had just graduated. It was during my gap year of college, and I got fired. Like, oh my God, it was a whole process. Like, I took that negative, low vibrational energy and I turned it into something beautiful. And literally fast forward a year or two, and here we are now. And I still don't know what I'm doing. Again, I'm still 20 years old, but this was a thought, and I did not know, and I did not think I was really going to do it. So don't think that yours can't, because it can. Because here I am sitting in my podcast room again, recording episode number 2, and it was not easy. I literally went and started buying things for my podcast from in April of 2025, just randomly after my birthday, and I came back and I had free time from opening my brother's restaurant location in Huntsville. And I went to Best Buy and bought my lovely camera that I was having problems with. But it all worked out overall. And like, just listen to these dates that I'm telling y'all I'm doing these things. We don't have to wait until the beginning of the year or the end of the year to change. You can change at any time. You can change at any time, because things are always changing around us all the time. All the time. You know, it's, of course, there's so many more stories and details I can get into when it comes to how much I've changed in a person just in the last year and a half, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I'm still grabbing it all in. I think earlier today I was literally laying in here And I was like, wow, I'm really not individual anymore. Like, I would still take it all in sometimes because I wanted and needed and desired more, and I really did give that to myself, and I fought very hard to sit where I am today. I worked extremely hard to sit where I'm sitting today, and I just want to tell everyone out there that 2026 is going to be all of our year, and don't get it twisted, because I've been getting tried since the first. But I'm still taking it a day at a time. We're already 2 weeks in. There's only 2 more weeks left until the end of this month already, which is so crazy to me. I cannot believe that. But we got this. We've gotten through the years before, and we're going to do it again. Who says we can't? Just remember, a dream can be a reality. Look at where I'm sitting today. And I just started. Okay? So my New Year's resolution for this year is to post at least 1 episode every single month and to keep my GPA above a 3.0. I think that's very doable and manageable. It depends. It's up to me. It's literally up to me. If I want to do these things and these are things that I want to get done, I have to figure out and plan out and just do it and attempt to get it done. Literally. There's no ands and ifs and buts around it. I figured out last year that working 2 jobs and everything, I figured out what couldn't work, and I'm ready to try what I think will work with a few adjustment and minor tweaks. You can change, okay? Discipline beats motivation, and nothing changes if nothing changes. I know most of the time you'll hear people say, if you want to change your life, well, go out there and change it. It is really that simple, and at the same time, it's not that simple. I don't know, but if you want to do it, look into it, figure out, attempt, try, just do it. You can do it. You can change. You can evolve. I want to constantly evolve. I don't want to be a stagnant human being. I want to be on my evolving and changing for the better as long as I live. I don't want to be stagnant. I want to constantly learn new things. I want to explore and enjoy and create new memories. And I want to be better, constantly evolving, constantly changing for the better. Because you can make a good change or a bad change. Pick and choose wisely. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to end this episode off here. Thank you all for streaming this episode. I love you all so much and appreciate the support more than you will ever know. Happy New Year again and good luck, and stay tuned for the next episode. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.